So what's going on right now, like everybody has heard about the idea of the Grand Cross and the configuration of all these planets that are in very difficult aspects to each other. One important thing that we need to know is that it's not often in history that those planets were in configurations together just in that way. It maybe happened in a few hundred years, 3 or 4 times, really maximum. And this whole process really started, at the Rosh Chodesh, at the new moon of, Aries, and continued very strongly at the full moon of Aries. And the 22nd of April, which we are right now, is exactly when we are at the peak. And when we look at history, always this type of configuration and aspects brought about a lot of revolutions in politics, a lot of revolutions in the states, in all the states, in the nations, changes of power. We know that we had a very similar, for instance, aspect when Mao Zedong, in 64 to 67 became the leader of China, which changed a lot the face of history because China is a very important place. So many very important events happen in history. And one of the things that I think is important for us is to know, wow, first of all, I'm in this period of time, I have like the merit and maybe the curse to live in this period of time, and very much so. What can we do about it? How can we make that moment, a significant one to the better, because these events can lead us to complete chaos or to ultimate higher consciousness, more peace and more understanding. So on our personal level, what do we need to do? Next week happens to be the new moon of Taurus. It's a moment for us to more anchor ourselves. It's a moment for us to look for peace. We know that the Taurus sign is under the planet Venus, which is the planet of peace. So really to introduce on our level, in the micro cosmos, so that it will, be bigger and it will go in the macrocosmos, to inject more peace, to not go on confrontations, to not try to get even or to be right, but to the contrary, to round the angles, to have a lot of random acts of kindness. And very importantly, we've witnessed, in a very short time, 3 earthquakes that were very high. They were like 8 point something in the scale of, Richter, which is like a very, very strong, earthquakes. Like Mother Earth kind of is shaking us a little bit. And it's showing us that really the earth, the land, needs our appreciation. It needs us to be present. It needs us to reinforce the fact that we love the earth where we are in, and we want to live very much in harmony with it. Otherwise, Uranus is in Aries. Uranus rules the ocean. The last thing we want to see is more earthquakes and tsunamis, which we escaped, really like by a hair, the last time after the earthquake of Chile, which happened about less than 2 weeks ago. So for us, I would suggest, maybe even to go to nature, pick up the dirt, or meditate, or ground ourselves to the best of our abilities, which will contribute. It's a bit of a chain reaction. We don't know how many people we affect. We affect so many people. But if we really smile, it's going to be paid forward. If we are kind, if it's going to be paid forward for the next coming month. And that's exactly the type of behavior that, is expected from us, from the cosmos and from the light. And we are completely capable of changing everything into something so much better and such a stronger consciousness. So I hope we're all going to do it together.